A Mighty Wind, The Annals of History, by Lord Blackwater. Chapter 4. Love, Stabbed by a Weiner. Barnaby lay on the couch, sighing in dismay as he normally did after he was done with work, since the option of making mud pies for fart balls was no longer available. Barnaby had to take a job as a chimney sweep. It was the only job he could find where he could utilize his mighty queef for a monetary gain. Of course, he had to master the nuances of his queefs, for a blast from the mighty queef was enough to blow down an entire home. That was how Barnaby had met his boyfriend Valspar. Barnaby was blowing out his chimney when Valspar took particular notice of Barnaby's abilities. The two ended up covered in soot playing booty knock-knock like the damn police. Now Valspar lay with Barnaby, stroking his hair in the upstairs of Keldorf's home. Valspar had always been good about bringing Barnaby up out of a low, which was why Barnaby had called him over. It was comforting to have the only two people left in Longville that could stand his company together in the same room.
"Remember when we met, Barnaby?"
Kickled Valspar.
Not this again,"
cried Keldorf.
"If I have to hear the story of you two queefing out soot into each other's faces one more time, I'm gonna twat stomp the both of you." "Stop it, Keldorf,"
Valspar said playfully.
"You know it's a lovely story. Anyways, I think you're just a little jealous that your magic hasn't led you to laying with a lover of your own." "Get off it, you hot cock sandwich. When I meet someone, it's not gonna be by having them sweep my chimney. I'm saving that for my deathbed."
Keldorf folded his arms in frustration. Valspar had gotten closer to the truth than he liked. Being with the two of them was almost like being with Phelan and Naura again. Though deep in Barnaby's anus, he knew it wasn't anywhere near the same as what the three of them had. Despite this, Barnaby still hated when they bickered. Even if it was just playful slap and tickle, he wanted the last people who tolerated him to get along.
"Well, we can spare you the story then, Keldorf, even though I know it cheers our little Barnaby up when he's down. Just know he was the best little queefer I ever met,"
Valspar said, leaning down to give Barnaby a kiss on the forehead.
"Oh, stop it,"
Barnaby said in embarrassment.
"Well, you are. You could be doing so much more than chimney sweeping, Barnaby. With your gifts, you could be ridding our lands of all sorts of evil. Think about the salivating fawns of the eastern plains. Just the other week, they sodomized my uncle, just for showing a little too much crack,"
Valspar urged.
"I'm done helping anyone with my queefs, Valspar. Shortner was the last evil oil banished from these lands. Remember how deep I was in Whisker Biscuit? And now, no offense to the two of you, but you're all I have. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you'll take Stephen the way you do, but queefing has left me with nothing,"
Barnaby said, with a single tear dripping from Stephen's tip.
"Cafote!"
cried Keldorf. Barnaby checked his asshole quickly, but luckily Keldorf wasn't casting a spell.
"You can be such a whiny bitch sometimes, Barnaby. You're still getting deep in someone, so let go and move on. I heard that Nara had a fuzz up in the pooch, so you're better off now anyways."
Barnaby made to stand, angry at the mention of Naura, but before he could, a breeze tickled his ear and he heard a soft voice.
"Barnaby, my love, he comes,"
the voice whispered. Barnaby turned and looked behind him, but no one was there.
"Who comes?"
Barnaby asked aloud to the voice. Valspar and Keldorf looked at each other with confusion. Suddenly, Barnaby heard a loud poof, and a cloud of smoke enveloped the room. It smelled as if someone who had just eaten 1,000 jelly beans and an overripe banana had ripped one. All three began coughing and trying to clear the smoke out with their hands. After a few minutes, Barnaby, frustrated by their lack of progress, sucked in with his minge and vacuumed up all the smoke. As soon as he had done this, he instantly regretted it. Once the smoke was clear, a figure stood in front of him that he thought he'd never have to see again.
Shortner?
Barnaby mumbled in disbelief. He could hear the audible, surprised farts of both Valspar and Keldorf.
In a way, yes.
Chuckled Shartner.
But I am so much more now. Gone is the polyamorous Nazi dragon you knew, Barnaby. Here stands before you Shartner, the male to female proud boy.
Shartner did indeed look different. Some of her scales had fallen off, and others had lost their color, as if a sickness had overtaken her. Her eyes glowed a deep red, which reminded Barnaby of when Phelan laid in his arms, bleeding to death. Even Shartner's voice had seemed different. It was almost as if someone was speaking for her, or through her.
You still don't get it, Shortner. No matter how you transform yourself, you will always be rejected because you don't fully accept yourself. Don't you know the Proud Boys would never accept a MTF dragon? They're too evil and uneducated for that. Guess I'll just have to queef you back to the void again,
Barnaby said with determination in his eyes.
I came to give you a warning, Barnaby,
Shartner said between gritted teeth.
But if that's how you'd like to talk to me, then I think you need a little more of a lesson than I thought.
With a swing of her hips, Shartner whipped out her erect penis. This, too, had changed, for now Shartner had a penis that was shaped like a sword, yet it was still veinier than ever. Not only that, but the Weiner sword appeared to be splitting into 5 separate Wieners as Shartner thrust forward toward Valspar. Before Barnaby could move, the Penta-Weiner sword had stabbed Valspar in the nipples. It quickly came back together as a singular penis before going in for a final blow, straight through Valspar's love plunger.
You bastard!
Cried Barnaby. He flung himself at Shartner, feet first and legs spread wide.
Kamehameha!
He cried. A soft wind came from his minge, but all that came out was a poof of dust. Barnaby hit the floor right in front of Shartner.
You fool, Barnaby.
Shartner laughed.
You underestimate my new powers, and it looks like you've lost touch with yours. I am so much more now, and you stand no chance in stopping me from getting my revenge. For now, I have some other things to attend to, so please, excuse me. See you soon.
With a loud poot, Shartner sprung into the air, splattering Valspar's blood everywhere. She crashed through the ceiling and was gone, leaving Barnaby, Keldorf, and Valspar sitting alone again. Keldorf put a hand on Barnaby's shoulder.
This is no time to fuck, Keldorf. We have work to do, and I know just where we need to start.